Hello one and all, welcome back to yet another movie review. This time I shall be reviewing Rebel Without a Cause, which came out in 1955. Yeah, this is a classic, and this stars the extremely long time great James Dean, and you also have Natalie Wood, and you also have Dennis Hopper here somewhat, and other actors that are involved in this movie. And with honor of Valentine's Day coming up, I mean, today's Friday the 13th, funny enough, then tomorrow's going to be Valentine's Day. 2 special days, yeah, I know. What am I doing with myself these days? And since I've looked at my older classic reviews playlist, which involves movies like Citizen Kane, 12 Angry Men, Psycho, yada yada yada, go on my channel, you can check out my playlist. I've been looking at some older films, particularly pre-1970. What ones have I not reviewed? And I discovered that Rebel Without a Cause was one of those movies. And here we are. So, Rebel Without a Cause, young teenager from a troubled home moves to a new town where he forges new friends and makes new enemies, leading him down a dangerous, tragic path. And that is pretty much to sum up the plot of Rebel Without a Cause. This film is excellent. Like, I wouldn't say this is like my favorite film from the pre-1970s era. I mean, this came out in the 50s. I mean, I'd say there's other movies that I would watch more. But this potentially is why we get coming of age films, movies that looked at Rebel Without a Cause and say, okay, I want to do a coming of age film myself. And look what coming of age films are like these days. If you wouldn't have Rebel Without a Cause, then you wouldn't have this many great coming of age films. And I find coming of age to be an extremely underrated genre and one of my favorites, period. James Dean, who unfortunately tragically passed away literally before the movie came out back in 1955, which was extremely sad. But back whenever they put this to 4K, I knew how to watch it immediately, and I really love this movie. James Dean plays Jim Stark, who is not necessarily the greatest young person out there, who you kind of understand where he's coming from. You get a little sympathy and just feel bad for him, what he's been dealing with. I mean, not necessarily everyone hates him, but he deals with quite a lot, and he is somewhat of a troublemaker. And I'm going to mention only 2 spoilers in this movie, because I do want you guys to go and watch this, because I understand that there's not many people that have seen this movie. There's probably a few more older classics they've seen, but I strongly suggest you guys watch Rebel Without a Cause. It's extremely good. So, there's a scene whenever Jim Stark, played by James Dean, is sort of in this room, and later in 2003 you have The Room, which kind of took that line, "You're tearing me apart." If you thought this movie wouldn't have been made, then you probably wouldn't have The Room going, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." Like, there's so much more classic films, older classics, than you think, that have taken so much into newer films that we seen these days, or maybe a few years earlier or ago, whatever. And then they do. There's another scene that is referenced, that is used in La La Land, which is insane. And that's the only spoilers I will give for this movie. Oh, one more. Sorry. There's a knife scene which I thought was extremely good. Like whenever Jim Stark and all these other guys, you know, are all just having a fight. And I'm just like, is someone gonna die here? Am I on the edge of my seat or something? Like, that scene was handled extremely well. And that will do for the spoiler element, I promise, because I want you guys to go watch this film. It's extremely good. And even if you're not into older films, I do want you to watch this to understand why certain movies that will have been inspired by this film, in this older generation of films, exist anyway, which is something that I have been always interested in myself. Then you also have Natalie Wood, who plays Judy, who is fantastic in here. She and James Dean have such great chemistry with one another in this movie, and the way their relationship kind of goes the way you don't expect at times. And of course, the relationship with Jim Stark and his parents, you know, just, you guys are gonna have to watch this for yourselves. But all in all, guys, Rebel Without a Cause, I think, is a fantastic watch for a classic film from the 50s. You know, it's definitely one of those movies that you absolutely should watch. I mean, I could probably give most pre-1970 movies from the 60s, 50s, 40s A+s, because most of the films I reviewed in my older classic reviews playlist, I kind of give most of them an A+. Rebel Without a Cause gets that as well. I'm giving it an A+. Which might get old, I know, but honestly, classic films like this deserve that rating. And there you go, guys. That is my review on Rebel Without a Cause. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think of this movie amongst older classic films in general, particularly the 50s or the 60s or 40s, whatever decade, the golden age era of film. Let me know below in the comments, and let's have a great discussion down there. And no, this film isn't as romantic like, say, Casablanca, which is one of my favorite movies from the older time, and of course in general, that's an A+ for sure. That film's amazing, and I definitely would like to do some more of those particular movie reviews on this channel, because there's a lot more that I want to do. Also, hope you have a good Valentine's, even if you're single like myself. If you're in love with someone, hope you do have a good time. Or if you're someone who's trying to get a lover, no matter what. As of myself, I'm just gonna go with the flow, what life gives me anyway, no matter what happens with me. But all in all, guys, if you're new, please feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share this video, notify that bell before you leave. All my social media links are in the description below. I'm a movie reviewer from the UK that likes to do movie reviews, and particularly older classics, and also just classics in general, because they're my favorite types of reviews to do. But if you're a returner, welcome back, and hope you're enjoying my content so far. And as always, until my next video, I shall see you then, and peace.